9440.
4405.
944405. 1905.
And welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. I'm John Garlick, filling in for Chris Wright, who's out doing Chris Wright things, with Chief Deputy Matthew Wade.
I thought I was Chris Wright filling in for Matthew Wade.
What? Oh, well, maybe you are. You look much better than Chris Wright, though.
We know John
sure we tell
now,
him.
right? It's always good to be on the TV show, sharing good news and information that can maybe help somebody and enlist some people to help us. So.
And we've had lots of help this week. This week we've captured how many?
8 arrests. Brings the count up to 3,522 people put in jail, all because somebody was willing to give us information, willing to help, willing to speak up. And one of the biggest things I hear a lot is people go, well, I saw something, I thought about calling law enforcement, but I didn't. So I always tell people, if you ever think about calling law enforcement, go ahead. If we get out there and it's nothing, we won't be mad at you.
That's right. We get paid to respond, so we'll show up and do what we can do.
That's right.
And speaking of doing what we can do, there's a lot of stuff going on this week.
It is. The Business Expo, Calhoun County Chamber of Commerce is holding that today. And why do we bring that up on the show? It's because there's a lot of good businesses out there, and we like to be part of our community. And us as a business, we're always looking for correctional officers, dispatchers, and deputy sheriffs, and County Commission has just upped the pay. If you're interested in that, we won't say it on the TV, but if you're interested, go apply. Call me. We'll talk about it. And we're always looking for bright young stars to come out and serve their community.
We need lots of help and lots of good people. And there's lots of good citizens in Calhoun County, I think, will come out and take up the challenge of law enforcement. Also, another big event going on this week.
This week, as you watch this show, Talladega race is happening. You go around the Oxford area, Lincoln. Just be prepared for the traffic. The stores will be more crowded down here, and just be safe. And we'll be out making sure that people aren't drinking and driving, and trying to do our best to make sure everybody has a good time here in our county, but a safe time as well.
Keep everybody safe and happy. And so that's it for this little bit of it. We'll be back right after our first lineup. First look for those folks there. If you see anybody, give us a call. But we'll be right back. Stay with us.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, Jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
Amazing Grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
a crackhead,
drug addict,
alcoholic, meth freak,
a wretch
like me.
I once was
homeless,
broken, sad,
just lost.
But now I am sober,
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
Hi, I'm Katina Houston Stroud with Family Links, and this is the Family Tip of the Week. You're not the real parent. How many times do step parents hear that phrase? It comes from stepchildren, biological parents, friends, extended family, teachers, and generally anyone in society who hasn't had the first-hand experience of being a step parent. It's a verbal reminder of what every step parent knows, that we often have most or all of the responsibilities a real parent has, but without the inherent or legal rights of biological parents. Raising children in a blended family can be challenging, frustrating, and overwhelming at times. It can be a real test of endurance to manage to stay together through some of the tough times that can erupt with your stepchildren. It can also be a time of growth and lasting relationships, but as every step parent we know would agree, it's not always easy. Statistics show that the most common type of family in America today, 65% of us, are part of a blended family where there are biological and non-biological parents present. The truth is, whether you're co-parenting in an original or complex family, conflict is going to occur. It's natural. You can't live together without some disagreements occurring. Agreeing on how you will discipline your kids and coming up with a plan together is a good way to go about getting on the same page. Many families have a system where the biological parent will discipline his or her own child with the step-parent support. This works as long as the two of you agree on a fair method of discipline for all kids. Blended and step families can be tough at times, but they can also be an opportunity for unique and loving relationships. If you're lucky, you'll get acceptance along the way. Sometimes surviving through conflicts can bring people closer together, but it takes commitment, forgiveness, and an open heart. Remember, all families are different and have different needs. Communication between you and your mate is essential for a successful family in any situation. Do you agree on parenting styles, discipline techniques, rules of the house, and expectations? If you can talk about these things before joining a family, that's the best case scenario, but it's never too late to start. For more family tips, please call Family Links at 256-820-5911.
And welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up in our lineup this week, Brittany Murphy. Miss Murphy, last known to be living in Weaver. She's wanted for bond revocations on possession and receipt of a controlled substance, receiving stolen property third, use and possession of drug paraphernalia, and having a pistol without a license. And meet Marvin Young. Mr. Young, last known to be living in Birmingham. He's wanted for failure to appear on possession of a forged instrument second. And we'd like you to meet Derek Lawson. Mr. Lawson, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for failure to appear on possession of marijuana second. And take a look at Dexter Kelly. Mr. Kelly, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for failure to appear on possession and receipt of a controlled substance. And we'd like you to meet Tanya Castleberry. Miss Castleberry, last known to be living in Cropwell, Alabama. She's wanted for failure to pay on theft of property first. And this is Jesus Silva. Mr. Silva, last known to be living in Alexandria. He's wanted for probation violation on trafficking cocaine. And last up for the first half of our lineup, Gerald Bailey. Mr. Bailey, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for probation violation on possession of marijuana first, possession and receipt of a controlled substance, and obstruction of justice by using a false ID. And that's it for the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second half and later in the show. Welcome back. We hope you saw somebody in that lineup you recognize, and if you did, give us a call and we'll give them a nice place to stay for the holidays.
Absolutely. You know, and you can always call Crime Stoppers at 256-238-1414. If you get some information that leads to an arrest, you can get some money.
That's good.
I like money. You ever met a dollar you didn't like?
Never met a dollar I didn't like.
Me neither.
And speaking about meeting people we're going to like, we'd like to introduce you to our guests. We have Chase Chandler, who's a senior at White Plains.
Yes, sir.
And Mindy Amberson, who's a counselor at Welborn Elementary School. Mm-hmm. And we're here to talk about Red Ribbon Week. Or that Wed Ribbon Week.
Wed Ribbon Week.
Red Ribbon Week. So, who's going to talk first? What's going on in the schools for Red Ribbon Week?
We have a lot of special things planned at Welborn Elementary, but to give you guys some background history, Chase, do you want to start out telling them about Red Ribbon Week?
Okay. It started in 1985, and it actually started with the murder of a DEA agent. And so their community came together and wore all these red ribbons to bring awareness. And so then from then on, it just started to bring communities together against drugs and drug abuse.
Oh, very good. And it goes on every year at this time. There's lots of stuff going on in the schools. Well, that's how many years now has this been going on?
Since 1985, so about 30 years.
Way before you were born.
That is true.
That is true. Okay. And so, what's going on at? Is the school system doing something in mass, or is it just individual schools?
Well, all of Calhoun County schools work together for this being our 1 week to focus on Red Ribbon Week. But Wellborn Elementary has some specific activities planned just for us. Each school system does things a little bit different. This year, we are working with several of our agencies in the area. Alabama Power is sending us volunteers to come work with our second graders on making a craft, specifically teaching and talking about substance abuse awareness and in a fun way that they understand as second graders.
You know, it's amazing. When I was growing up, we were talking about drug abuse and all that stuff, and then after I got out of school, because it was many, many years ago, we had the, just say no kind of stuff going on. But that was all focused on high school. And now we're talking to first and second graders about it. That's kind of scary.
It is scary, but people who sell drugs, they market to whoever will buy. If somebody will buy it, they will do it. It's never too early to start talking to your children about drugs. I have an 11-year-old and a 15-year-old, and they've heard it for many years, and I've always told them nothing good comes from doing those kind of activities. Nobody ever does that has ever said, you know what, I'm glad I started using drugs. It's done so much for me in my life. So, and that's where we go with the dispute of whether marijuana should be legal or not. I call it a gateway drug. I'm not for that. I think that that's something that can lead people to a darker path.
Oh yeah, and marijuana particularly damages the fear and anxiety center of your brain. You end up with an anxiety disorder and a lack of motivation. But awareness is important, and certainly the earlier the better. Is that what you guys are finding in school?
And we start even with our kindergartners. We use this month as a focus of healthy choice making for our bodies. And so we even talk about what does cigarette smoke do to your body, even secondhand smoke. And so we use this as an educational opportunity for our kids to know, not just to say no, but we want them to know why they are saying no. So that's really the biggest push at the elementary level, is talking to them, and they know much more than what I as a parent would like for mine to know, but they're hearing it, they're seeing it on TV, and so they have questions, and we need to be the ones there for them when they have those questions.
Well, sure, and they probably go home and then they start telling the parents how to live healthier lifestyles. Do you ever hear that?
We do. Actually, this morning before I came, I had kindergartners for guidance class, and one of the kindergartners, of course, raised their hand and said, well, my mom and dad had smoked. And so I explained to them, we're not saying your parents are bad for their choices, but we are wanting you to know when you grow up and you can make that choice for yourself, just know by making a choice, there's a consequence either way that comes with it. It doesn't make you a bad person to smoke cigarettes, but there are bad consequences that come with that, and that those are health factors that we want our kids to be aware of.
Well, that's good.
And also, I think a lot of parents would agree that when they made the choice to start smoking, now it's so late in the game, they can't quit. Probably would like to. They know it's bad for them and just can't. So it doesn't make them bad people, but sometimes we make decisions that have consequences that we can't change later in life, and that's what I try to tell my kids.
There you go. Well, we'll be talking more about better choices and taking responsibility for your choices after we take a little break and see the second half of our lineup. So stay with us here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead.
Drug addict. Alcoholic. Meth freak.
A wretch.
Like me.
I once was.
Homeless.
Broken. Sad.
Just lost.
But now I am
Sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
More than half of kids 12 to 17 years old have personal web pages, videos, or blogs. It's called social networking. As a parent, you should be monitoring your child's web pages. Find out the name of their site and go to it at least 3 times a week. Check for inappropriate material, for pictures, comments, and messages. Make sure your child doesn't post their personal information. Software is available to help you monitor your child's internet use. I'm Calhoun County Sheriff Larry Amerson. For more information, log on to our website or call the number on your screen.
And welcome to the second half of our lineup. First up this half, Leonor Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for a probation violation on trafficking in methamphetamine. And this is LaTerrence Lee. Mr. Lee, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for a probation violation on distribution of a controlled substance. And we'd like you to meet Sheila Brown. Miss Brown, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for probation revocation on criminal mischief third. And take a look at James Haynes. Mr. Haynes, last known to be living in Atala. He's wanted for failure to pay on use and possession of drug paraphernalia. And this is Eddie McElderry. Mr. McElderry, last known to be living in Mumford. He's wanted for failure to pay child support, the face of a deadbeat dad. And this is another deadbeat dad, Lonnie Spinks III, last known to be living in Oxford, wanted for failure to appear on child support. And last up in our lineup this week, Hubert Lambert. Mr. Lambert, last known to be living in Glencoe. He's wanted for probation revocation on theft of property third. And that's it for our lineup this week. If you have any information on the whereabouts of these folks, please give us a call at Crime Stoppers 256-238-1414. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the second half of the lineup. And again, if you saw somebody there, absolutely.
Make the call.
Make the call.
Get some cash.
Make a good decision. And speaking about good decisions, we're back with our guests, Chase and Mindy. We're talking about Red Ribbon Week and making good choices and good decisions. And we were talking about how early you start to hear this information. So how old were you? Can you remember the first time you started hearing that drugs were bad?
I remember being at Oxford Elementary in like 1st and 2nd grade, and we had speakers come in and they gave us those little red pencils that say no to drugs, and we all decorated and everything, and the dress-up days. So mine started in elementary school.
And it had a good impact on you because now you're a senior and you're going to graduate this year.
Yes, sir.
And you're going to college?
In Troy.
Troy. There you go. And you're going to study what?
I'm going to study psychology and social work to be a substance abuse counselor.
Oh, wow. So it had a huge impact on you.
Yes, sir.
Very good. There's lots of activities going on this week at your school and all over the county school system. So why don't you tell us some of the stuff that's going on?
Like Chase said, the decorations, that's a huge part of elementary tradition. Countywide, we have a decorating contest. The teachers get with their classmates. They decorate doors, they decorate bulletin boards, and we talk about Red Ribbon Week in a very public way by displaying these things. And then from there, we have different people coming in. We are doing something called the Semicolon Project, which we will talk with Garrett Counseling about making those healthy choices. Semicolon project focuses on your story's not over yet. And so we're going to talk about how when you do make those unhealthy or bad choices, what can you do when that happens?
We see those semicolons and tattoos and all over the place, and so that's what that's all about is
Yes, sir. It's just a very visual reminder of your story's not over yet. You are your life's author, and you get the chance to determine what happens next. And so it's really teaching children and their parents that you have the power to make your choices. You hold the consequences. And so it's getting them to believe that and to see the truth in it.
It's hard to get people to make the right choices. It's hard to get people to understand that they can make choices. And it's even harder sometimes to make, particularly teenagers, to understand that there are consequences for their actions and their choices. So this is all good stuff. And you've got other things going on at your school?
Yes, sir. Mindy and Miss Tina are coming to speak at my school next
Tina
Thursday.
Houston Stroud.
Stroud.
Can't leave that out.
We can't leave that out. She's the director at Family Links, of course, and does the parent tip on the show, and usually is our additional host.
And Family Links is a huge partner with Welborn Elementary. For our Red Ribbon Week, they come out and they share tips. We're working with our families this year and having a family and a community partner meeting at 12:30 on Friday that community members and parents are invited to, where we're sharing information about substance abuse, about addiction, what drugs are coming up. And it's just a time for us to give back to the community, but also for parents to get to hear from people and to see that there are resources available for them.
Absolutely.
You know, of course, parents are the anti-drug. That's the big thing for the last couple of years. But it's so true. Parents have to get involved in their children's lives.
You know, and there's so many things I've talked to. It's not only drugs, but, you know, I talk to my child. I have a daughter and a son, and I talk to them about the technology and sexting, and we talk about it, and I try to teach them, ultimately the decisions is always theirs, but I try to teach them why not to, why it's a bad idea, what's the consequences and the problems that it brings. So hopefully.
There's just so much stuff in front of a kid. I mean, you're still in the woods of being a teenager. And so did you find, as you grow up, of course you can't compare to how we grew up, but
she never
can't make the comparison, can she?
She doesn't know that there was never an internet.
That's right, and you always had a cell phone, and that's, wow. So I can't even ask you if you think your life is more stressful because of those things. Do you?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Sometimes.
My life certainly is. Well, we thank you for being on the show to talk about Red Ribbon Week. We're very proud of you.
Thank you.
And I've seen you now. Where did I say SAPAC? You're involved in a lot of community things.
Yes, sir.
So we're very proud that you are a citizen of Calhoun County. We hope that when you graduate,
you come back.
Definitely.
And stay here and work with us, because we need all the help we can get, don't we?
We do. Yes, sir.
Well, that's it for the guest segment. We're going to take a break. You're going to do the Crime Stoppers stuff, see your cases, and then we'll be right back with you for our wrap-up and Crazy Criminal. So stay with us.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, Jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead.
Drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak,
A wretch.
like me.
I once was.
Homeless.
Broken. Sad.
Just lost. But now I am sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
And welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of our show, where we ask you to put on your deer stalkers and help our investigators with these cases. First up on your caseload this week, on October 7th, this residence on Philadelphia Church Road in Piedmont was broken into. They got away with a cell phone. And sometime between June 7th and October 8th, this residence on Kirksey's Bend Road in Ohatchee was broken into. They got away with a cast iron wood-burning heater and copper wiring. And here, between October 10th and October 11th, a purse containing prescription medication and U.S. currency was stolen from this residence on Wissanet Road in Ohatchee. And sometime between October 14th and October 15th, a suspect or suspects broke into the concession stand at Weaver High School football stadium. Miscellaneous food items were stolen from that location. And last up on your caseload, between October 8th and October 15th, this residence on Jamback Road in Anniston was broken into. They got away with 2 televisions, furniture, a push mower, and clothes. And that's it for your Crime Stoppers cases this week. If you have any information on these cases, and we hope you do, please give us a call at Crime Stoppers, 256-238-1414. Remember,
Stupid! You're so stupid!
well, we hope you got a look at those cases on the Crime Stoppers segment, and if you didn't, you can go to our website and
check it
review
out.
them there again.
We'll put it on our Facebook page as well.
There you go, on Facebook. So we need your input on those cases. It would be very, very helpful to us. So, you've been flying, right? Commercial aircraft. I know your history of, but we fly commercial aircraft. Some of those seats are a little cramped. Yeah.
Especially for big guys.
And as a big guy, and even as a little guy, I like to lay that seat back when you can. Well, you know, if you're sitting and the passenger in front lays their seat back, sometimes that can be intrusive, yeah?
I agree.
Okay, so on this flight from LA to San Francisco, this woman wants to rest. She puts her seat back. Well, the guy behind her took issue with that, and so he did what any, rational human being would do. He reached around and choked her out. She started screaming for help, and of course the flight attendants came back and they talked to her and they comforted her, and he was just sitting there as if nothing happened. And so they turned the plane around to LAX and landed, and 137 passengers were inconvenienced while law enforcement came on board and arrested this guy.
That's crazy, stupid criminal of the week. I'm sure that'll cost him a lot of money and some time in federal prison doing that. But
yes, causing an airplane to turn around is...
Apparently when he was a kid, he didn't listen to his mom and said, keep your hands to yourself.
Keep your hands to yourself,
boy.
Well, so there you go. So that's about all the time we have this week. It's a pleasure being on the show with you.
Absolutely.
We don't ever get to do that very much.
That is true.
Here, hold my...
Inside joke.
Inside joke. Well, that's all the time we have for this week, and we hope that you will look at the cases and look at the lineup and call if you see people you know where they are and what's going on. And we'll see you next week, but hopefully not in the lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.